Welcome to Have You Read It, the channel where we bring books to life, one summary at a time. Whether you're here for self-help, personal growth, or business inspiration, there's something for everyone. Today, we're exploring Simon Sinek's Leaders Eat Last: Why Some Teams Pull Together and Others Don't. This book explores the biology of human behavior in organizations, and why some teams are able to achieve remarkable things while others struggle. Sinek begins with a powerful story of Captain Mike Drowley, call sign Johnny Bravo, an A-10 pilot flying over Afghanistan. Despite the inherent danger, Drowley performs a risky weather letdown to provide cover for Special Operations Forces under attack. He attributes his courage not just to his training, but to his empathy for the men on the ground. This story sets the stage for Sinek's exploration of how empathy is the single greatest asset in leadership and organizational success. Leaders Eat Last examines why some teams are so cohesive and successful and others are not. The book uses examples from the military, business, and even anthropology to demonstrate why putting people first is essential to any organization's stability and ability to thrive, especially in times of great challenge. Sinek argues that creating a circle of safety within an organization is paramount. This circle is built upon trust and cooperation, where leaders prioritize the well-being of their people, and in turn, the people protect each other and advance the organization's goals. The book uses the example of Bob Chapman, CEO of Barry-Wehmiller, who transformed his struggling manufacturing company by prioritizing his employees' well-being. Chapman removed time clocks and bells, gave employees access to spare parts, and fostered an environment of trust and empathy. As a result, productivity and revenue increased significantly. Chapman emphasizes that leaders are responsible for the precious lives of their employees, much like a parent is responsible for their children. The concept of the circle of safety, as described in Leaders Eat Last, draws inspiration from anthropological principles and biological imperatives. Early humans survived and thrived due to their ability to cooperate and trust within their small groups. This allowed them to face external threats and challenges more effectively. Similarly, Sinek argues, when employees feel safe within their organization, they can focus their energy on external dangers and opportunities rather than internal politics and self-preservation. The book uses Aesop's fable of the 4 oxen and the lion to exemplify this point. When the oxen stood together, they were able to defend themselves, but when they separated, they were easily picked off one by one. A key element in creating this circle of safety is the release of what Sinek calls the selfless chemicals, serotonin and oxytocin. Serotonin is associated with pride and feelings of respect, incentivizing us to work hard for the good of the group and make those who support us proud. Oxytocin, the love chemical, fosters trust, empathy, and strong social bonds. Sinek emphasizes that these chemicals are essential for building lasting relationships and a sense of belonging within an organization. Acts of generosity, physical contact, and shared experiences all trigger the release of oxytocin, strengthening the circle of safety. Conversely, when employees feel threatened or unsupported, cortisol, the stress hormone, is released, inhibiting the release of oxytocin and creating a cycle of selfishness and mistrust. Sinek discusses the importance of leaders in maintaining the circle of safety. Leaders are those who prioritize the well-being of their people, putting their own interests last. This concept is illustrated by the Marine Corps tradition of leaders eating last, symbolizing their commitment to serving those they lead. The book argues that leaders are not defined by their position or rank, but by their willingness to sacrifice for the good of the group. He contrasts this with leaders who prioritize personal gain, isolating themselves and fostering internal competition, ultimately weakening the organization. The book then shifts to explore how modern society has inadvertently created an environment that undermines these natural human inclinations. The rise of mass layoffs, beginning with Reagan's firing of air traffic controllers in 1981, created a culture of fear and instability in the workplace. The focus shifted from long-term commitment to short-term gains, with employees seen as expendable resources rather than valuable members of a team. This, coupled with the increasing abstraction of modern business, makes it harder for leaders to connect with their employees and understand the impact of their decisions. Sinek draws parallels between modern corporate behavior and the Milgram experiments, which demonstrated the dangers of obedience to authority. When people are unable to see or hear the impact of their decisions, they become more likely to engage in harmful behavior. He argues that this abstraction, combined with a focus on short-term metrics, has led to a culture of corporate greed and a disregard for the well-being of employees and customers. He highlights examples such as the Peanut Corporation of America knowingly shipping contaminated products and Apple's tax evasion tactics. To combat this abstraction and rebuild the circle of safety, Sinek offers 5 rules. Keep it real, bring people together. Keep it manageable, obey Dunbar's number, meet the people you help, give them time, not just money. Be patient, the rule of 7 days and 7 years. Sinek highlights companies like 3M, known for its culture of sharing and collaboration, and Costco, which prioritizes employee well-being and long-term growth, as examples of organizations that have successfully built strong circles of safety. He contrasts these with companies like Goldman Sachs and Merrill Lynch, where a focus on individual achievement and short-term profits has eroded trust and damaged their reputations. He uses the Taj Hotel bombing, where employees risked their lives to save guests, as a powerful example of the impact of a people-first culture. He also explores the challenges of the abstract generation, Generation Y, who have grown up in a world of instant gratification and virtual relationships. Sinek argues that this generation is not entitled but rather impatient, struggling to understand the value of long-term commitment and the importance of building strong, real-world relationships. He ends the book with a call to action, emphasizing that leadership is not just for those at the top, but is the responsibility of everyone within an organization. He encourages readers to be the leaders they wish they had, to build their own circles of safety, and to prioritize the well-being of those around them. He reminds us that human beings thrive not when we serve ourselves, but when we are inspired to serve others. The main takeaway from Leaders Eat Last is that building a strong, cohesive, and successful organization is not about implementing complex management strategies or chasing short-term profits. It's about creating an environment where people feel safe, valued, and trusted. It's about understanding and harnessing the power of the human chemicals that drive our behavior and building a culture that fosters cooperation, empathy, and a sense of belonging. It's about leaders who prioritize their people and put their own interests last. Here are some easy-to-remember heuristics. Circle of safety. Are you creating an environment where people feel safe, valued, and trusted? Selfless chemicals. Are you fostering behaviors that trigger the release of serotonin and oxytocin? Empathy. Are you demonstrating empathy and understanding towards the people around you? Long-term vision. Are you focused on building something lasting, or are you chasing short-term gains? Lead the people. Are you prioritizing the well-being of your people, or are you leading the numbers? Thanks for watching. Have you read it? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss our next book exploration.